Hey, what's up? No, like I was saying, just this. I always say goodbye in like I'm always hoping that I can say goodbye and just tell you guys, okay, later. And every time I say goodbye, it's like 20 minutes. It's the longest freaking like farewell that when I'm doing these live things. No. But anyways, this will just take a minute. So it's very like. Long story short, it's complicated, but I am going to do it. Like I said, if this doesn't work out, I'm going to start with a YouTube channel. That's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to start uploading like the videos for free. That's going to be my alternative. Just making making a channel and doing things for free, because why the hell not? And then eventually seeing if I have possibilities to like. In some way, monetize that. But for now, no. For now, my bigger interest is in like creating a community and sharing knowledge. So if nothing else happens, then yeah. But so I even looked for like partners in terms of like for the book. I want to look for partners, editorial partners. The business is not. If we want to be like super clear, because I already talked to like some people, but the business side of it is not. I mean, it's not great, because with the editorials, they basically would tell you how the book would be done, and then they tell you, okay, you raised X amount of dollars, whatever it is, and the books, the production costs are is this much. So. What they do is that they do all the production, then they kind of do the math so they can say, okay, so what did we earn? What are our earnings? And only after they kind of do that and they say, okay, we made, who knows, like $20,000, let's say. Then you say, okay, it's half for you and half for the editorial. So I guess, yeah, it would be a partnership. It's not a great business, to be totally honest, for the artist, on the artist side. If we could do everything, even though it's kind of scary, but I did that with my first book. Like I did everything. I designed it, I printed it here in Colombia, I had it sent to the US, I paid import taxes in the US, then I shipped every single book like individually by myself, I packed everything by myself. It was hell. It was hell on earth. It was one of the toughest things I've ever done in my life, but it's so satisfying just to do it yourself. And I knew nothing about this. Nothing. It's not like I had printed books before. Well, I have some other books printed, but I had never gone through the whole process or like importing books. So, have you ever been to Turkey? No, I would love to. That's one of the most beautiful places on earth. Need a designer for the next book? No, thank you. Van Dyke. Thank you, G. Van Dyke. But no, because the next book doesn't need a designer. Not that I don't need your help. It's just that the next book is this. So it's so easy. One of the best books I own, and everyone should invest in this new one. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you. No, I did it with a ton of love. Where can I buy your book? Nowhere, unfortunately. They're all gone. So, te invito a Costa Rica. Muchas gracias. Los costarricenses y los bogotanos somos las personas en el mundo que más parecido hablamos. Tenemos muy parecido el acento. Entonces, yo feliz de ir a Costa Rica. Pero ustedes dicen Costa Rica, es lo único. La R la hacen como rara. Have you ever been in Vienna? No. So, all these places that you guys are telling me about, just invite me. I'll do a workshop over there. That's awesome. Anyways, so that was it. This was all about materials. So let's keep it at that. Your voice changes when you speak in Spanish. The truth is, I have a translator here, and we try to, and we obviously have like two different personalities. So we try to speak I can't make him speak like me all the time. So whenever it's in Spanish. Nicolás está viendo la Champions con cállese, Juan. So when I'm speaking Spanish, I bring the other guy in, and he has like a really terrible voice. So, but yeah, he does nothing. He just sits here in my apartment, just waiting until I need somebody to speak in Spanish. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Someday you can meet him. Hopefully someday. Anyways, so that's it. I'm kidding. Can you please name some painters that you were main influences and why? Let's see. Today, I think we all kind of know all the painters that we like because we all kind of like the same painters. But the ones that have stood through like art history, I love. So let's say like Rembrandt, Velázquez is super easy. Those are Baroque ones. Let's say Goya. I'm a huge fan of like Spanish painting. I think Spain has one of the most beautiful histories of painting. So I'm biased, but Goya is totally one of my favorites. Then if you go, what is that? 18th century. Maybe Jericho, that Raft of the Medusa. I know it's just one painting, but it's one painting that makes you love that man. So that's probably my favorite painting in our history. It's Raft of the Medusa. Then 19th century painters, there's a ton of painters that I really like. But Mariano Fortuny, I think he's just one of the most virtuoso painters like ever. There are some Polish painters that I love, like historical painters, like Julia Benczur, like a Hungarian painter, Jan Matejko, which is a Polish painter, Jacek Malczewski is a Polish painter who's incredible, Olga Woznanska, she's a Polish painter who's incredible. These are all 19th century. Spanish painters, Spanish 19th century painters, like Francisco Pradilla, she's incredible. I love that historical painting. Let's see, 20th century painters. That's where I'm like, okay, like the floodgates are open, because I actually love stuff like Rothko or stuff like Motherwell, Franz Klein, Sam Francis, Joan Mitchell. So I really like abstract expressionism quite a bit. One of my favorite painters is and will forever be Lucian Freud. Let's see, Rauschenberg, incredible. Like early Jasper Johns, that's amazing. And more figurative contemporary painters. Let me see. Like the list is like just insane, but I love that painters can kind of have one foot on illustration, and I think that's incredible. So I love Phil Hale. I think he's the best. Like he's one of my heroes. Kent Williams, he's amazing. Ashley Wood, it's probably one of the best living draftsmen right now. Let me see. I'm trying to think of the books I have, because I have only a few books, but I respect a hell of a lot of James Jean. James Jean is like crazy. I studied with him. I was a year older than him, but I saw how insanely talented he was. But he's done just this amazing career, so huge respect for him. Edwin Dickinson, crazy good. Let's see. I think that's pretty good. I mean, I love stuff like Meissonier and Menzel, like Bouguereau, Edwin Austin Abbey, stuff like that. I really like. But I think that's pretty good. If I'm forgetting something, like Love is Corinth, Love is Corinth is like, Freud wouldn't be Freud if it wasn't for Love is Corinth. So, yeah, that's about it, maybe. And Kim Jun-ji, for example, he's crazy good. I have like a couple of books of his. I think that's pretty good. Yeah. So that's a list. Oh, and obviously Ruprecht von Kaufmann. Yeah, RVK, he's crazy. Yeah, I think that's it. Neo Rauch, but I think von Kaufmann is actually better than Rauch. Yeah. So yeah, those are my painters. Sterling Hundley, he's super cool. He's awesome guy, like awesome illustrator, and a really nice person too. So like beautiful human being underneath a very talented artist is something that I admire tremendously. But he's a tremendous draftsman. He can draw. Whew, that guy can draw. Saludar a Campos. Hola Campos. Francis Bacon in Chile, fantastic. Egon Schiele is like, Egon Schiele did something that's people are not really conscious about, but drawing was not something that you would dedicate your life on. Drawing was always a way to, it was the step to do a sculpture, it was a step to do that would finish in architecture, it was the step that would finish in a painting. So it was process, but it was never an art form. It was never considered an art form. And he is one of those people that just said, no, I'm going to dedicate my life to draw. And there's insane value in that. There's absolutely crazy value in that. So I think we are more and more appreciating what he actually did. But if you want to speak about the confidence that has to be part of the draftsman, oh, he has it. He has like loads of it. He brought drawing to a pedestal, but in a good way. I think you're saying in a good way, Arda. But he actually inadvertently said, you know, a drawing could mean and could carry the same weight as a painting. That's what's probably most important. So yeah. So anyways, okay. Last thing, and we have to go because I have to teach. Like, I have a drawing class like in an hour maybe. So Schiele died in Vienna. Yeah, he died young. Yeah, he was a mess too. He was crazy. But it's one of those people that you're like, okay, die young. You know, you're not meant to live like forever. So, ¿eso es la derecha es lo que uso como barniz? Sí, este, María Clara. Es un barniz de retoque. Ah, y esta es la cera. Sí, María Clara, esta es la cera. Talk about relying on intuition. Egon is the man. Yeah, he's crazy good. I mean, he owes a lot to Klimt because his early drawings are very, very much, you know, that school. But yeah, how about Bacon? Bacon is amazing too. Yeah, he's just a very nice bridge. He bridged the gap that was created by expressionist painting, like abstract expressionist painting. And figurative painting. So he, you know, it's very cliche, but he painted, you know, emotions. He didn't paint like a mouth screaming, but he painted what made the mouth scream. So it was really good. Schiele was his Klimt's student. Painting and illustration. Where do you think the line is? No, there's some people wrongfully describe things as illustration. Illustration as an object there's very, very clear things about illustration. One is that an illustration doesn't really live by itself on its own. You know, there can be an image. You know, you can look at a Rockwell painting, but usually Rockwell paintings were meant to be part of the Saturday Evening Post. So that's why it was really cool when the MoMA did, I think it was the MoMA or the Guggenheim? Was it the MoMA? I forget. They did a retrospective. They actually didn't put paintings of Rockwell. They put all the covers, all the post covers on the wall. And I thought it was very telling of what the actual impact of him as an artist was. Because he spoke to the U.S., the whole of the U.S. So it was like propaganda. It was like very, very beautiful propaganda. The painting actually, or the image is actually accompanied by something, and it's usually reproduced. An illustration is not meant to live by itself, to be on its own, out of context. That's what a painting is. That's what a you know, like a traditional painting is. The one that, you know, painting can set its own rules, and then it's kind of like a window to the universe that the painter is creating. But an illustration, usually there's an intent that follows, that has to follow a text or an editorial, or, you know, music, or whatever it is. But there's something that detonates that image, and it has direction. There's an art director, or you could be the art director, and then there is the reproduction aspect of it. That, you know, your hopes is that you get to as many people as you can with it. So, yeah. But in terms of style, and that's where people are very wrong. You know, don't think of a painting and say, oh, it looks like an illustration. That doesn't mean anything. That means nothing. Absolutely nothing. Don't ever, like, catch yourself saying stuff like that. Oh, it looks like an illustration. What the hell does that mean? You know, there's painters that did, I mean, if you think about it, like Andy Warhol painted like Dick Tracy. And, you know, what does that mean? Does it look like a painting? Does it look like a comic strip? So don't catch yourself just saying, because something reminds you of a style that's in a certain style, don't associate that style with illustration, because it doesn't quite make sense. Yo también me tengo que ir rápido. So I think I have to go. I have to go now. So thank you all. And hopefully, not so much this video, because we were just talking. But I'll do those questions. I promise I'll do those questions like later on. But because I really have to finish now. But I'm going to be doing a live painting shortly, and people have asked if I could do like a nice drawing kind of live video, so I'll do that too. So that's it. So thank you all. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys later. So thank you. Bye. Okay, that was horrible. My God, that was horrible. So I'll bring in the other guy, the one that speaks Spanish, so that you can say bye. So, bueno, muchas gracias. Hasta luego. Para que uses la cera, porfa, para volver mate. Si el barniz de retoque queda muy brillante, lo vuelvo mate con la cera. Es así de sencillo. No! Yes, I have to leave. So, anyways. Thank you all. I'll see you guys later. Thank you. I just joined. Don't worry. I'm saving it, so you can go to the story, to my stories, and you'll find it there. Ciao, Art by Arta. Ciao, Camcucus. Ciao, Adrián. Ciao, ¿dónde compro la cera? En Home Center. Adiós desde México. Chao desde Bogotá. Chao, gracias. Hasta luego. Hasta luego. Chao.